Okay, so first topic, let's go with Elo Hell. What are our opinions on Elo Hell? Like,
Trash.
Yeah,
does
bad.
it? Yeah, it's bad. Okay. Are we in agreements that it exists?
Yes.
Okay, like so, what do we think Elo Hell like is? Like, where do we think it exists most commonplace? Like, what rank do we think is the most like trap?
Silver
Like, is
plat.
like the trap, like the most trappy kind of rank?
Silver platinum.
Silver, gold, plat, around there.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I'd
like
agree.
playing
I'd agree
games.
with that.
Never
So we
stop
reckon.
fighting for
So
what you believe in.
so yeah. So can someone else say something, please?
I don't know what to say. Sorry, I was focusing.
I don't care, Dark. It's how me and Tenshi decided to spell it. Leave us alone.
Hello.
This is a mistake. Dark being here is a mistake. I don't care.
Zayek.
Wait, what am I? Okay, wait.
Okay, so what's the next topic then? Oh, I hate this. Okay, so we got the role debate. What?
BAP. sorry.
See, this is how awkward podcasts are.
Okay, yeah, no, Dark's just not good
What?
anymore. Tenshi, you cool to just do this, us two?
Sure, I
Wait,
don't mind.
Why? What?
Because you're annoying me now.
What I do?
You just pissed me off.
I'm gonna get kicked from the game.
You're just pissing me off.
So, me existing is annoying you.
Yeah. Now you're doing it on purpose. Can you just chill, please? Like, just...
Okay.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I don't know how to like conversating very well, as you
Okay,
can
so
tell.
what role do we believe to be the most important and influential in the game? Like, what role do you think is the most, like, if you don't have a good this role, it's
Healer.
over. Doesn't matter how good the rest of your team is. If your ex is bad, you're gonna die. Like, your team's not gonna like work anymore.
Heal.
Healer.
Okay.
If you get no heals, you die. Well, I guess if you like constantly kill the enemy team, maybe tank as well. And well, I guess it's on everyone. Oh no, probably DPS the least, but
I think
it's like
DPS, yeah, is like not as important, but I still think the
because you can still get kills with other roles. But
yeah, I think this the like the how important the roles are and like the differences between it is very slim. Like I don't think it's a big gap.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a massive gap in between like like where like how effective DPS have to be to tank. I think it's a very slim margin.
Oh.
So Dark,
Yeah,
you're
I
saying
think-
healer, Tenshi saying healer and tank. I think I'm gonna say tank and DPS.
Nah, not tank. Definitely not tank.
I think
mean,
it's no.
From
I
it's
think
personal experience,
I think tank.
I can do it enough.
Sometimes I feel like tank is just like this whole game's like sometimes just tank this.
yeah.
I can do so much more with good healers than like without a tank.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
as
that's
a-
true.
as a-
That's
as a-
true.
as a
Like
DPS
healer,
player, you
there's
just need to be a
healers
tank,
like.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like me and
I feel like
Tenshi playing
healers-
heals and tank.
Yeah, because it comes down to personal experience where I've had 2 tanks gone and then we still won the game because me and the other DPS just were pocketed by their
Yeah,
by our
heck, at the end of the
healers.
day,
Like,
you
Yeah.
have good enough Genji or whatever. You just nano blade on off cooldown, and you just like,
yeah, if you
still
have
do-
Soldier Mercy and then Soldier Mercy on a Genji, you can win the game with that.
Yeah, healer's like probably the most influential role. By like only by a little bit. I feel like the differences aren't that big.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that 100%. I reckon it's an extremely slim margin.
Yeah.
So, are we in agreements that heals are at the top then?
Yes.
Okay, and then so we
Wow,
have.
that was so like.
It's actually good
Heals
because we have a very nice kind of we have the different ranks in the three of us, and then we have also the different roles in the three of us. I think we have pretty good like a pretty good kind of what like variety and like different perspectives and stuff.
Yeah.
What I would say, like in my roles top 3, go healer, DPS, then tank. Tank is like if you have one good tank that just like makes you go up, then you pretty much won the game. Like if you don't have decent DPS or only one DPS or no DPS at all, you've kind of lost already. Because you
Yeah,
need
so you're saying
some sort of
heals, so you're saying heals
Mm.
heals DPS tank, right?
yes.
I either say heals DPS tank or heal tank DPS. I don't know which one to choose. I feel like they're very close for me.
I think I am probably
How do I
depending.
miss that?
It kind of depends on what hero I'm playing. Like if I'm playing Ana, I really love getting a shield tank. So if I was playing Ana in a match, right, I'd say it goes tank, heals, then DPS even. Just because I feel like a lot of the games sometimes I've just lost on the fact that I don't have a Ryan.
Yeah.
But like it really depends on the hero I'm playing. Like I can play Zen and just like frag out and just make up for the fact that I don't have good DPS players on my team. But I don't think you can make up for tanks the same way you can make up for lack of DPS and or heals. Like you can play soldier heal yourself, you can play roadhog heal yourself. I just don't think you can make up for a lack of tanks the same way you can make up for the other lack of like, other two roles.
Yeah, I think the answer my answer kind of varies on what heroes are being played in the game.
Really depends on character and experience.
Yeah, okay.
Not
And
really
then
experience, but
the second part of this topic is what hero is your favorite to like queue with and like duo with or something like that. I think I know Dark. Yeah, so Dark is a DPS player playing heals.
For me, I like good main tanks.
I'm
Also,
probably
not
gonna
even
speak
heals,
for
it's
Fire
just
here, and
Actually, doing with heals is really good as well.
I don't think I'm gonna.
Doing with a good healer that will like pump heals into me when I'm diving is really good. I like that, and also good main tank.
I think I want to stay away for the moment. At least I want to stay away from sub roles in the role. So like main tank and off heals, main heals, flex support, project like flex DPS. Like I want to stay away from that just for the moment. I will go into that a little bit later. But
yeah.
I'd like to stay just heals, just DPS. So like just heals in general, not specifically Ana or specifically Ryan or like whatever.
Yeah.
Because then I could just say I'd really like duoing with a Genji as a Ana main. And then like it's not I don't necessarily like duoing with the whole of DPS, but like if I just get a Genji and we just nano boost off cooldown, that's like one of the easiest ways to climb sometimes. So
yeah.
So Dark, you're saying healer?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say heal or tank. I don't really care for DPS duos, but I don't mind them.
It depends on what role you main as well. So if you're playing tank, it really depends on healer. But for healer, it like depends on DPS or tank.
I personally, I don't like duoing with the healer as much because it doesn't leave me with that flexibility. If that makes sense. Like I'd much rather play like that's why I don't really like playing in like a stack unless it's a 6 stack. I don't really like playing with another heal because I just feel like it doesn't leave because I can play whatever based off what they're playing. Whereas I feel like if I'm like playing with I can just feel right. Whereas if I'm with like another person who's like healing in like in there in the Discord or whatever, it doesn't leave me that ability because like I can adapt to the situation in the situation, whereas like there's already kind of like a foregone conclusion when we're playing with someone in like Discord. So I'd say probably tank first because I feel like a lot of the time a lot more in gold than I think flat and stuff like that. The game ends up being very kind of tank diff. A lot of the time, like I've definitely won like many games and been able to climb much higher with just a better just like tank than them. Whereas yeah, you can kind of get shut down a lot easier playing.
Can we do some quick play?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like yeah, just having a tank's much more
Ow.
impactful when I'm doing like when I Tenshi. I just don't have to worry as much about having a Roadhog ball because I know she trusts me enough to play Ryan and let me just like pump heals into her. And it's also really
Yeah.
it's really good when there is that like trust as well because just Tenshi just dives the entire time and she just and unless I call you're not LOS, she just trusts that I will heal her, which I feel like and because she plays such like high health heroes, she doesn't need to worry about me missing 1 or 2 shots and it being the end of the world. Like whereas with Dark, when he's getting in a fight, I feel like if I don't hit that shot, it's all over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For me, I think a good heal and a good tank are like tied with which one I'd prefer doing with.
I don't really like
good healers.
the same roles.
Great.
To be honest. I feel like it just leaves too many things.
Oh yeah.
To like, cause yeah, you play the same role as someone else. It doesn't allow you to make up mistakes that having like. So like you're both playing DPS, right? It still leaves your all of the heals that can be bad and all of the tanks that can be bad. Like it leaves all that open. Whereas you can if you can make sure that you at least have one good player in at least 2 of the roles, you have a much better chance of winning than because unless you're playing DPS, if you're playing DPS, right, the way to carry is killing almost everybody every team fight. Whereas with tank, you just need to make space, or with healer, you just need to prevent your people from dying. Like it's nowhere near as easy. I feel like tank's probably the easiest hero to carry on, or role to carry on. Because sometimes, sometimes when I'm playing healer, I just end up like prolonging the fight. Like no one's still no one's dying, nothing's happening. It's just all I'm doing is just keeping it going.
Yeah, tanks really like influences of like team fights a lot, and depending on what your tank does and how good they are, can like change a whole team fight in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, this conversation also comes down to what role you're playing, or like how good you are.
I feel like you ask most DPS who they'd rather play with. I think the answer is going to be pretty similar, and it's going to be healer a lot of the time. I think you ask most healers who they want to play with, and it's going to be tank a lot more than it is DPS because a lot of healers are quite spited by a lot of DPS players because of the constant. Oh, why didn't you heal me? I was in a bad position, but I refuse to admit that I was not in a good position, and I'm just gonna scream and complain at you.
Not in the plan.
Whereas
yeah, so like what you're saying is where a tank, it depends what you're playing is easier to carry. Ryan, it's not really, but like DPS for me, I've carried pretty hard with just straight Genji, and that's all that matters. You don't have to get a single kill every. Oh, to carry a team fight is not to get almost everyone every fight.
I know that like I was over exaggerating. I just feel like with DPS, unless you're constantly like getting kills, you're not carrying. Whereas with like Tenshi only has to get one fat bomb in her like when we're trying to stall, right? And she's carrying
but
a fight.
That's not necessarily carrying. That's just ending the fight. There's a difference between carrying and winning the team fight, because you don't get bomb every fight like you do cooldowns. So like if it's the last fight, then yeah, it's pretty good. But you didn't necessarily carry the game unless you got your bomb every team fight. You got at least
I guess carrying like throughout the whole game and not just like. Well, I guess you can carry a specific team fight, but
I'm a bit spited too by the fact that I never get recognition as healer. like DPS get like oh yeah, nice, whatever. Like, unless I get a big anti, I never really get like a nice honor or like a good sleep or whatever. I never really get that. And just yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like with tankers, you get like oh yeah, fat shatter or whatever. You don't get nice heals unless they're like yeah.
Nah, not really DPS. It's more tank because if you get the only
Yeah.
good thing you get with DPS is if you get at least like a 4-man. That's pretty much all the.
I just start
Yeah.
lagging
Like,
out really weirdly.
speak, what you do, you don't get any recognition.
Yeah.
With healing.
Okay. So can I just get this conversation's carried on a bit. Can I just get a final final what role we think is most important and what role we like to duo with in or like queue with when we're playing. Just as like a finalization.
This isn't gonna end as in like someone all agreeing. It's all
Yeah,
gonna be mixed answers.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like all of us. Like, I'm not saying we all need to agree. I'm just saying who is saying and confirming what. I'm not asking anyone to agree. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
let's, because I feel like the conversation may have been a little bit hard to follow if someone's watching. So,
Yeah.
like, can I just get like a final like
I got crap. You ready,
what
Genji?
role we think is most important, and what role we like to duo with the most. Just like finish off this topic and then go on to the next one. So, we'll start with Dark.
Definitely healer, both.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say too.
Okay, so
I mean, after we talked about the whole having 2 tanks and then like relying on random people to heal for you, I like realized why you probably rather heal and while I'm playing tank.
How was I shattered?
I don't know what
So
happened.
I'm gonna say tank. So and then
But I
next
don't know-
topic is conversations about the current or last meta and what you'd like to see in the next meta. We'll start off with
Last meta?
so the meta I'd like to focus on is double off tank or like a roadhog. The no shield meta that we just faced. Like
I hate that.
I
I hate this
hate
current
it
meta
very
actually.
much.
I hate no shield. I hate no shield
the
meta.
yeah, same. And the thing is, like, Tenshi, a lot of
Yeah.
people could say that, like, that's like really selfish of you as like a tank player. But like the thing is that you do play shield. Like many times
Yeah.
you've been happy to play shield and it doesn't phase you. You do what's best for the team, which I very much appreciate. But I as a
Most of the
support
time.
player, I've hated it. I've hated it.
Yeah,
absolutely,
playing with
because-
support with no shield as well is terrible.
especially playing flex support, right? Where I don't have many. I don't play heroes with that much maneuverability or mobility. I play very impactful heroes, very kind of mega brain heroes, like Ana with sleeps and antis and Zen with discord. Like, that's what I like to play. And just having no movement
Yeah.
and like no escape, like you have with Moira or something like that, I've hated it so very much.
It's a lot of damage.
Dark, how do you feel about it?
Sorry, come again? About
How do you feel
this
about
meta.
the previous meta that we played?
Pretty horrible. See, like, as a DPS player, there'd just be a hog behind with 170 plus.
I think it's been quite common. I also have nano, by the way. I think it's been quite common that people who know me know that I don't like hog, and that's not because of the hero. It's not because of the way it's played, like Mei. It's because of the playstyle it supports. Right, you're off on your own, not helping out the team, whatever playstyle. That's why I don't like hog. I don't like him because it's not a shield for me to put behind. I don't like it because I also have sleep here. I don't like it because of the
So
playstyle.
yeah, like that. I know what you're saying, except it also depends on the type of player. Like if they are a good hog and they sit back with your team and like protect you, that's good. But it also depends on
Massive dynamite healer.
why he's playing hog.
Yeah.
Why is he doing this?
I
Like
hate
what
I hate it when
does he
DPS
think that he can
players
do?
play tank
If
and
they're
then
not gonna
they
swap,
just insta lock hog and we just die because of it because it's the most
it's pretty much like it's why
Yeah.
are they playing hog and what
Yeah.
can we do to support it if they won't swap?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like hog because hog and ball actually. Because they have, to me,
Mm-mm, bro, yeah.
from a gold, not really plat, 'cause I've only just hit plat, but from like a gold player standpoint and like ex-silver player, like hog and stuff is just, it's not fun.
Can you give me
Because,
that?
yeah, where are you? To me, it has very kind of, oh, I'm gonna do it on my own connotations, and I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I play tank and people like intellect ball, like I usually go Rhine, but then like it's bad because I have like no support from my second tank.
Yeah, and it
And
just
like
to me, I really don't enjoy the whole kind of solo player mentality when tank is such a team kind of role.
yeah,
It's like
tank is such a team role.
you're supposed to
like,
be
the
your
teamiest
team's
role
back,
ever.
like you're supposed to be your team's front line most of the time, right? Like you're supposed to
Yeah.
be their armor. That's what you're supposed to do as tank, and just the whole Bap sleeping. And the whole kind of solo, I'll just go off by myself and flank mentality has never really sat well with me when in terms of tanking. Like I understand flank DPS and whatever. I still don't really like that. I like everyone to stay with the team. Because flankers are usually the ones that flame healers in chat, right? They're usually the ones that are like, oh, where's my heals, blah 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 blah. That's who those people usually are. But
Or
I
they
just
complain about
don't.
how they got 2 picks, but we still lose the team fight because they weren't there
They're
to
not
support
there.
us.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's a lot why I don't really like that why I don't like off tanks as a role, because I mean not off tanks, I just don't like those two heroes as a in tank because they don't play with the team.
Yeah, but like, so this is kind of directed at you. So what you do is like, if you don't like what they're doing, you just go straight in and like, can you swap off? It's not really working. And then what you don't really do that I would like some people to do as more is where they go, okay, why are you playing this? What do you think you can do? And how can we support it if you don't want to swap off? Like we know you're not probably having a bad day, but what can we do to support you to
See,
make this
in my
game the best you can?
in my experience, a lot of these people that are playing these roles are the same people that aren't in chat. They've just insta-locked hog, or they've insta-locked hog, or like Zen players as well in healer. Like I don't mind, as a Zen main myself, right? I don't have anything against Zen players, but I don't like the Zens who don't call disc. Play Zen all you want if you're gonna play him effectively, but if you're gonna refuse to swap off when you, because you have gold healing because you trans twice into a grav, I don't like that at all. I really don't enjoy that when like I don't like anything that's just that's you're just playing it because it's a stubborn pick. Like you're just like, no, I'm gonna make this work. This is how I'm playing. And I don't like any hero that discourages team play, which I feel like Hog and Ball do. Like if you play Hog and Ball and Call and like boop them into our team so I can land a fat anti or whatever, I'm all for it. But if you're just gonna go off on your own and just get critical and die first every team fight and just stay Hog, because that's also where I don't like the medal system as well, because it encourages people who aren't, because it doesn't have anything. It doesn't tell you anything about how you're playing for the team, right? It tells you how you're playing in terms of statistics. I've had gold aliens as Zen before, but it's just because I'm usually the last person alive, and no one else can do anything, and whatever, because I'm playing Zen, and I've swapped off even. Like I don't just say, oh yeah, I have gold aliens. But I use gold aliens when someone, like I probably am guilty of doing this as well. I'd say like 100%. But I just don't like the medal system because sometimes it just supports things that aren't good for the team. Like when we were playing yes, I think Friday and James was just playing Hog, and he's like, oh yeah, I have gold elims, whatever. But we just
Yeah.
really needed some extra support for Bio on who was playing Ryan, which could have been helped a lot by Zarya. And
Yeah, also
Yeah.
their Hog that was better than them just kept flanking, ending up as our healer's dead.
yeah, and so me and
with him
Tenshi,
in their
were playing
backlines.
were you there, Dark?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, so no, this is a match that we played on Hollywood too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tenshi was playing
Oh,
Mercy,
yeah.
and me and Tenshi ended up having, I think, 30 deaths between us. I had like 15 or something like that, trying to play Ana into it, and just because we just kept getting flanked, right? And it's like, well, there's nothing much else
Yeah.
we can do here, because it's just so difficult to try and do anything, and we just can't do anything because we don't have that support from the backline, in our backline, and I just, I just really don't like this meta at the moment. I think...
Yeah. I don't like this meta either. It's like terrible. And yeah, like people who got called out for like not it's like helping their team and just like going in and like dying are always like, well, I have gold damage or something.
Yeah.
And it's like always used as a stupid excuse.
100%.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
I can't wait to get into the fight.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
All systems
Okay, so
operational. Diva, ready for combat.
our next topic is balance changes. We'd like to say what do we think is broken or just not just not working at the moment, basically.
Ahlan,
Like, what heroes do we think need to be changed somewhat?
عامل
And I'd also
Cool.
say let's probably stay away from mains and people and heroes that we have a certain
One.
like bias towards.
Capture objective A.
So maybe we go Dark. You can do.
So right off the bat, I want to say Genji
What?
needs to be buffed again. Genji's been nerfed so hard into the ground.
I'd like to say Tenshi, you go with DPS. Can say some DPS changes you'd like to have. Dark, you can go healer, and I'll give some changes, suggestions for support, because I'd like to stay away from the bias. I mean, not support. Sorry. I'll give some changes for for tank, because I'd like to stay away from like the biasy kind of like, because of course Dark's gonna say Genji because that's who he mains, right? So, yeah, what do we think's incredibly broken at the moment? Or that needs to be changed?
Bastion should stop killing me.
Yeah, so I'll go first. Maybe with tank. I'd really like to see the main tank changes be reversed. I think main tanks are an integral part of the game, and that's one of my favorite roles to see in my games. And I think main tank players are very, in general, very kind of nice to just play with. They're like, I
What
really
should be first is to explain what the changes are and why they should be reverted.
I just
Just
think
saying,
that
like-
the massive, it's not even necessarily all nerfs either. It's like a mixture of buffs and buffs to other heroes as well. It's like, it's all of it. Like it's the fact that by buffing a certain hero, you're discouraging the use of another hero, because if they can just do well with Roadhog or whatever, then why would they play main tank?
Yeah.
So I'd really like to see, maybe not a lot of the shield changes reverted, but I'd like to have main tank feel impactful. I'd like Reinhardt to go back to a 250, 2500 shield. I'd really enjoy that. Because I think him having a 250 HP shield was fine, because he's the shield, right? The whole thing is the shield. He needs to get up close and personal. I think Orisa and Sigma shield changes make sense, but I think for Reinhardt he should be able to have that much shield, because it's like an integral part of him and his character is, I am the shield, I take the brunt of the damage, I am the team's armor, like kind of playstyle that he promotes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I'd also like to see maybe some. Yeah, I think I don't necessarily need like I don't necessarily want number changes. I just want some of the some playstyle, some like quality of life changes to happen a little bit, just to make roles
Yeah.
more impactful.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
I'd like to have the comp MMR reset again. It's like you just get placed once in platinum, can't make it out because you get, if you lose all games, you get like 2,400 something, and you have a hard time trying to get up. And once you do, you just fall back down.
I think
And,
I
like,
think
Mm.
per- I
knock it
think
out.
I agree with that somewhat. I don't think everyone should maybe get a MMR reset. I think
Yeah.
it should
People under 30
I think
because there's so many new players and they just get placed in bronze, and they're better than new players, so they need to have the
yeah,
MMR
it's
reset
not
to
like
probably
I was
get
talking to
themselves
Tenshi
up.
about it yesterday when I was playing DPS, right? Like I'm playing Tracer. I'm not a 1300 Tracer. I think personally I believe I'm quite a good Tracer, and I literally carried almost every fight, and we still managed to lose because it's bronze, right? Like no one's doing anything in bronze,
Yeah.
and it's just not. Like, and it's also not fair to the other players who are playing against and with people who don't deserve to be in that rank, for either because they're better or because they're worse. And so everyone's just kind of
Yeah.
being held in a certain rank for reasons that just aren't like working. Like whether it's because they're worse, that they're not as good as being in that rank as they should be in gold, or whether they're better than gold but they're just trapped there. It's not a fun experience for anyone. Like it's not fun
Yeah.
to get crushed by a Smurf, but it's also not fair to have a one-trick brig player on your team that doesn't do anything else and like feeds all game, right? Like neither of those are fun or like worthwhile to have happen in your game.
Yeah.
But I do agree
I was
that,
gonna say something.
I think maybe not an MMR reset, but I think placements should be more impactful, because like this season,
Yeah.
this season's the first time I went 1-4, I think, in my placements, and I only got placed 2200. I ended this season at like 2150, I think. Like I went up 50 SR, or like the normal amount of SR that I'd gained for winning 5 games, basically.
Yeah, like your placements are practically useless at this point.
Yeah, because it just puts.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how much you win and lose.
Yeah,
You're basically gonna get put in the same rank that you were last season.
No, last season I finished 30, 54, and I lost 4 placements. I got placed 30. No, I got placed 29, 50 something. Like if I won all 5 of my games, I would be in place like 34, 3500, 30, 34.
I do think losses shouldn't matter as much, because sometimes you just get a bad team, it's unavoidable. But I definitely think if you're winning and winning by a big margin in games, I think definitely you should gain like a lot more SR, like maybe like 50 SR a game for your placements, like what happens in your initial black.
I want the
Yeah.
win streak SR come back.
The what? The win streak SR.
The
Yeah.
win streak.
Mm.
3, 2, 1. Attack commences. Capture.
And yeah, Tenshi, do you think there should be any changes made to DPS? Like, who do you think's like not strong enough in DPS at the moment, or needs to be like changed somewhat?
I'm not very knowledgeable on the DPS because I don't ever play DPS. But I don't know. Actually, for DPS, I have no idea who
Okay.
would need to be
Dark,
changed.
as a DPS
Well, any
specialist,
changes
what do you
that-
think should happen? Apart from Genji being buffed again because you main Genji, who do you think's in a good or bad spot at the moment in terms of DPS players?
Bastion.
Oh yeah, Bastion. Bastion's
I mean, like,
Bastion's
kind
being
of-
played a lot recently. Actually, I've noticed.
Yeah, 2 games it's been full. So last match there was Bastion on the other team, and I was Bastion. This game there's another Bastion. Like Bastions in this point in time,
I
just
feel like Bastion is one of those heroes
annoying
that's
to
very
play.
easy to play in low ranks and do well with, just because of the fact that
Yeah, he's
that no one knows how to
underrated,
counter
like,
them,
for
right?
sure.
Because in GM, you
Yeah.
have your teams are usually good enough to just all focus the Bastion, and it's fine. But you just don't have
You
that
have a
kind of
far
team coordination.
Junkrat.
Yeah, lower ranked Bastions. Oh, hell, basically.
Bastions, yeah, it's like one of the easiest things to play. Like whereas in high ranks, you don't really see play of Bastion because he's just not as viable because people know how to counter him. Tenshi peek window.
Tenshi, if you didn't kill him, I would have laughed my head off.
What?
If you didn't kill that Junkrat just then.
Oh. I was actually got really low.
Can you give me nano when you get it?
Also, so the next topic that we have is ranked experience and or I like to branch it out a little bit more because that's a very broad topic and I'm not sure if I want to go with that anymore. To what do you think certain ranks mean? If you see a bronze player, what does that tell you? Like, not just oh they're bad because they're bronze. Like, what does seeing a bronze player in your game tell you?
I'm bad.
You go.
See, I'd like to away from
I don't really,
I'm bad or we're gonna lose. Like, I'd like to
On
stay
my-
away from that kind of thinking. Take me dark.
on my main, if I ever see, I don't like ever see bronzes in my game because I'm like gold, so. But I mean, sometimes when I play with friends, they'll be bronze, but
I think
See, like, that should not be allowed. That should not be allowed. See, Bastion's in this really good state, but really bad at the same time.
yeah.
I think so. For instance, when I think when I say bronze, I think someone that's new to the game or doesn't have the hardware to be able to perform
Yeah.
at the level of someone else, right? I think also gold slash
Yeah, I
plat
think
is
that
where
confers with the rank that you are in as well. Because, like, if you're silver or something, and you're like, there's a bronze, yeah, he's probably about the same as me, not good at the game, or just, like, don't have the good specific
I
aspects
think
for
I
it to
think
play.
gold is where it starts being a little bit more about your hardware, like kind of. I think gold, plat-ish. I don't think you can climb to anywhere higher than diamond with only 60 FPS. I think like your hardware starts to like become a lot more apparent and like a lot more kind of binding after plat.
Mm.
When you can, minimum.
Yeah, they just
What is their diva doing? What the hell? Oh my god, I'm gonna die to a Junkrat right now.
I mean, gold is the
average
expected,
rank.
yeah, average rank. Like,
Yeah.
flat is above average, and just above that is well done, pretty much. Because 2500 is like, yeah, nice job. You're better than 25%
I
of
think
the Overwatch
as well,
community.
I think silver is where you find not necessarily bad players, but players who don't play smartly. Like I think silver's where you see most of the people just they just run in, make the same mistakes. Like they don't swap to counter, they swap because they're good at one hero. It's where you find a lot of like I think it's where one tricking is a lot more apparent. They don't have a wide hero pool, and it's a mixture of like hardware as well. Right? I think that's where your silver players are. They're not necessarily bad at the game. They just don't play the game intelligently to some degree.
Like, this could be a very controversial conversation, depending on who's watching and, like, where they're watching from, because it really depends on rank. Like, in this silver, you definitely feel a lot more empathetic towards lower ranks, because you're pretty much in the same boat as them.
Yeah.
But if you're higher than,
I think
you're
silver as well
mid-class
is one of
diamond,
the is a very hard rank to get out of. Because
Yeah.
in silver, you find a lot of people playing for a lot of different reasons. You find the players who are just good at the game, but don't necessarily put any time into getting better, and they're just playing it for fun, right? Which is one thing also that I hate in this game. Is the argument of, oh, I'm just playing to have fun. But yeah, so I think silver's where you find your most variety of players. Like, you find your people that are just playing to have fun, people that aren't necessarily as good at the game, or people that that are just like doing what they know works, not trying to get better at the game. They're quite just static in their movement. Like they win one, they lose one. They're not really moving anywhere.
Going to be okay.
Which is why I feel like silver is very hard to get out of as well.
I'm fighting. It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay, where do you think you find what rank? This is the next topic, by the way. What rank do you think is where you find the where players start to get good, like where you can start to rely on your teammates?
Ooh.
I'd say diamond level.
In my
'Cause it's so hard to find a team that you can rely on in like high plat, because they're just reverse smurfs from like GM or masters,
See,
and then
Yeah.
you get those who are just get
yeah. So I think
and now
that's
to play the same.
that has to do with the fact that Dark has spent the majority of his time as a plat player. He's at least plat on all three leagues, right? Like, whereas I'd say, because my experience in plat, like new experience, for something I add, is that plat players are kind of like, they're not. It's not as much babysitting when I'm playing support. I can kind of do
Yeah,
other
don't
things.
get enough kills.
Yeah, which may be a mixture of the role the SR I am and the role I play at, right? Okay, so Dark says diamond, I say plat-ish. Tenshi, what are you gonna?
Yeah, like flattish diamond.
Definitely not plat. Like, I don't want to say that I'm better, but I have a lot of experience in plat, but you guys don't, and it's just your idea of plat is very different from how it actually is.
And no, I feel like
think
plat's a
that's
scary place.
also-
I don't like plat. I don't really want to go to plat, honestly.
Yeah,
I
it's
just want
just
to
like,
skip plat.
I feel like it depends
Yeah.
also what rank you play at. Like I think plat tanks like are a lot better than as
Oh,
a
yeah.
healer. I can keep my tanks alive and I can do whatever. I think plat tanks are a lot more like, obviously they're better than gold players because they made it out of gold, right?
Oh, in plat. Yeah.
Yeah.
what they get placed in there by getting carried, and then
I
just
think
drop down.
Dark
to
has a
them.
very biased opinion on what plat players are, and a very
Yeah,
salted
it's
opinion.
very controversial conversation again. It's like you have those who think yes, it's okay, and it's just like straight, yeah, nah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Plat might be the you find the most variety of players as well, because it is not hard. It is, if you do well enough in your placements and get good MMR, it's easy to get placed in plat.
Yeah.
It's also hard once you place to get out of plat.
Yeah. Okay, second. Okay, we're moving on to another topic now. It is, what hero do you hate and why?
Main, it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Main?
I just don't like getting frozen all the time. A lot of mains just like
see a lot of
constantly freeze me when I'm
Yeah,
debuff.
the thing is, I don't like not
Someone
like
I
CC
hate
as well,
is-
right?
Is that it?
I think CC in itself is not a bad thing that happens. Right? I just don't like the freezing and then there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, playing against. Oh, I thought you said playing.
No, not to play against.
Oh, well, Mei to play against. I don't actually mind playing her or playing with the Mei that much.
I think Mei. I just don't like Mei in general. I don't like her aesthetic. I don't like. I don't like most things about Mei.
I mean, I like Mei, but I don't like her like in the game. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
like her character, but I don't like Mei when playing.
There's a lot of likes in there. Just get
Uh,
10
yeah.
likes before I go.
Yeah.
So, Dark, did you have one that you don't like?
To play against
Yeah, to play
definitely
against.
good team.
Hero.
uh, I'd say
Either for being
probably-
broken, for whatever, like for whatever reason.
I also
A
don't like
good
playing against
tool.
Bastion.
That's
Oh yeah, and
Good
Torb.
Torb is annoying.
Yeah, I think Torb, Farah, Bastion, and Mei are quite oppressive in nature. I don't because of where
Yeah.
because of where I sit in SR, in gold, like Farah is just such an Farah Mercy is just such an oppressive combo and such an oppressive thing to try and play against because none of your team can play against them or do it or like none of your team, your DPS aren't good enough to take it out of the sky. Just don't feel like it's rewarding to play against, and it's so insanely oppressive. No one knows to kill the Mercy first, and it's just not a fun combo to play
Yeah.
against. The same as with Bastion, right? It's such little effort for such major value. Are we good to move on from this topic?
Now traveling to
Yeah.
Petra.
The next topic is favorite our team or teams.
Never stop fighting for what you believe. Zayek?
And then favorite player as well.
Hello there.
Oh.
Ahlan?
Could be a streamer, could be an our player.
So,
Could be a streamer, could be an our player.
what was the question? My internet keeps dropping out.
Favorite our team or player.
Trying to define
I don't even know what my favorite team is, honestly.
Toronto Defiant.
I wasn't cut out for retirement anyways.
So yours Toronto Defiant,
Hello.
Dark. Who's your favorite
Hello
player
there.
on the Toronto Defiant? Or just favorite player in general?
Name. But Ahlan?
While Dark's thinking, Tenshi, do you wanna? What's your favorite our team?
Why?
What's what?
What's your favorite Overwatch League team?
I don't know. I don't really watch the Overwatch League, not gonna lie.
Have a skin from said Overwatch League.
Well, yeah, but I got it because it looked cool.
Okay. So then, are we just gonna say LA Gladiators because you have that skin?
Sure.
Okay, this is kind of off topic, but someone that's really annoying to dive is Ana. It's like they just follow you until they get close enough and just press E, and I die because of it. Like, I get them low, just press E, and then that's when the team's starting to push back.
For me, okay, yeah, I understand that. For me, my favorite our team is either NYXL, San Francisco Shock, Philadelphia Fusion, or the Hunter Spark. I like their colors and their players.
Oh yeah. I'm choosing an ugly skin. Okay, continue.
I really like Jonak from the NYXL. He's the one that
Oh, yeah.
encouraged, like that I looked up to and started playing Ana because of. Otherwise, I was just gonna main Zen and try to go. Like he's the one that help. He's like not helped because it sounds like I met him in person.
Jonak, please. Are you talking about Gale Adelaide?
Jonak
Because
on the NYXL.
Jonak plays Zen. Like, that's his main person.
Jonak plays Zen and Ana. He plays flex support for NYXL. Jonak is most known for his Zen, but he has a very dangerous Ana.
Yeah.
He's the top 3 flex support in the league. Him, Violet, and Twilight. And he encouraged me to like pick up the other flex support heroes instead of just Zen, and like learn that role. And also play it as a hybrid DPS and healer instead of just like heal botting like you do with like Lucio or Brig, right? Like you kind of just heal.
Not really. But kind of. I see your point.
Oh, nice.
I just lost.
So yeah, next topic is favorite meta.
Oh,
So favorite meta to
60
play in,
DPS.
watch. What is that?
60 DPS.
I like goats when there was
Sex top
no
or triple DPS?
roll thingy.
Yeah, I see as a support and occasional tank player, I really like goats too.
Yeah,
Because it actually
like
allowed
goats. Goats is like
allowed my favorite heroes to
my
be
favorite
viable.
thing. Yeah.
Only
And
gold.
I really like the emphasis on team play of playing as a team and playing for your team. Instead of just like hopefully the 3 people on your team that insta-lock DPS aren't bad.
My ultimate is ready. Let's do this.
Other than that though, it would probably have to be Dive or Reinhardt.
Oh yeah, dive.
Reinhardt, Ana.
Dive is good, except you need tanks that are actually like enable you to go in. Like,
Yeah.
if you have
Whereas
dive tanks that
I
don't
main both
lane
dive
well.
supports, right? So like that's kind of where my thinking is from that.
Which ones?
Zen and Ana. So I main both dive flex supports. Sorry.
Those aren't necessarily dive supports.
Well,
Dive
Zen
supports
is
are
with
more
his Discord, and like so is Mercy and Moira, and yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, it's not always reliable though.
Yeah, Zen.
Zen
Mercy's
kinda gets left
Mercy's
behind.
like the most common dive heal.
Yeah,
That's
it
Lucio.
kind of gets
It's
left
Lucio
behind.
Zen. That's the
And
main.
Lucio, yeah. Forgot about Lucio.
Lucio and Mercy.
Yeah, Lucio
It's
Mercy's
not
really
Lucio,
common
it's
for a dive. But it's not very, I don't know if it's completely reliable heals if your Mercy isn't very good.
Are we talking about
Yeah.
Owl or just in general? Because like Owl was Lucio Zen.
Oh, I'm
that
talking
was-
about like just in general.
Okay, so in general,
Yeah.
yeah, you have.
But I'd
those
never watch
core
Overwatch League, so.
heroes. And then you have. So in Owl it was Lucio Zen because you can trust your teammates to keep you alive as Zen, whereas in Ladder, Eddie, you're right, Eddie's all those people that you just listed dark.
Yeah.
We're all so
So second is the next topic is also do we like are we still happy with roll queue? Do we think it fixed anything? Do we
So
think it was a
much
good
better.
addition?
Yeah, actually it was a lot better. It reduced the amount of throwers, I'll say that.
See, and this is where you start to see the commonness and like the commonality between tank and support players compared to DPS players. Dark probably doesn't like it because he has longer queues and other things that it might like give to him. But for me and Tenshi, when we play, roll Q, it means that we have at least
business,
one other
my
support and
hello.
tank to play with.
Yeah. Where the hell's Echo? Oh.
I haven't hit a shot yet.
What the hell are they doing?
I really just need to get an Echo. I mean,
Yeah,
Ash, what am I
actually.
doing? What am I talking about?
You freaks could be in this movie.
Ah, saved you,
Oh,
Arnold.
she didn't die.
Do you guys
Oh
have
my
any
god,
topics
this
you'd like
dude.
to add to conversation? Like, do you guys have anything that you'd like to talk about or have a discussion on?
I don't know, not really. I mean, I'm bad at coming up with things.
This is a bit random and not off topic, but not in
I'm
the
gonna get you for that.
not in
every
the like
Hello.
list of
Say
topics
it.
to talk about. It's what do you think the value of CC is? Do you think it's OP? Do you think it's like not needed? Do you think there's too much of it? What do you think CC? What do you think's bad CC? And also after I'd like to
Bad
talk about
CC.
what do you I'd like to talk about the importance of rank and the importance of rank in terms of broken heroes, which I'll lead on to after this. So, do we think there's too much CC in Overwatch? Do we think there's an alright amount of CC in Overwatch? Do we think there's...
I think there's an alright amount for now.
I mean, it just depends on what characters you actually play. Because May, Sombra, Lucio, Ryan, Brig, and then you got Roadhog. Like, that's just way too much. And you
Oh,
also
yeah.
got, like, McCree or Sombra. Yeah,
This also comes into my good CC versus bad CC, right? What do you think's good CC? What do you think's bad CC?
Stun. It's good.
Personally, I think freeze and also I think freeze and maybe McCree's flash, but
Nah, I'd say Hook.
yeah, Hook
Yeah,
as
Hook.
well. I think is stupid because of just how easy it is to land. That's why I like May a lot, is because whereas like Ana, right? Maybe not so much in this is also like kind of leading into another point I was gonna make about good and bad ranks, like or like different experiences on rank, is that when you're playing with like in GM, right? Suddenly more overpowered. Ana probably feels a lot more oppressive just because it's your players hit sleep more, right? Whereas I feel that Ana and getting slept is like it's like oh fair enough, she had to hit that first kind of thing.
Watch this, watch this.
Whereas with May, I think it was a lot more. It's a lot more of like oh well, she held Emma. I wasn't able to do anything because of it. Same as right. They looked at my general direction,
Yeah.
pressed shift, and they hooked me, and now I'm dead. There was nothing I could do about it because I can't. Because it's just this is just what's happened now.
Yeah, but Hook used to be so much worse though.
Yeah, I know. Hook did used to be a lot worse.
Like phase through corners and
That's
shit.
why. That's also why I think McCree's flash is kind of bad CC at the same time because like flanking McCree just flash, right click, dead. It's not
McCree's
fun,
like
right?
scary.
Whereas I think Shatter, personally, I think Shatter, Sleep, and I don't know what are some other CC in the game. I think Shatter and Sleep are very like okay yeah like with Ryan it's so easy to block Shatter, so easy to avoid Shatter. I feel like you have to earn that. Same as with Arnie, you have to land the sleep to sleep someone. You have to earn it, right? I just don't feel like it's as like rewarding to freeze someone and just finish them up because there's no way out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done roll Q. now we can go to rating. Do we want to rate heroes or do we want to do something else?
Nah.
I don't really mind what we do.
Okay, Doc, do you have another topic to talk about then?
I would say the workshop. Like, there's so many
Ooh.
cool things you can
Yeah.
do with workshop,
Oh yeah,
except
workshop.
you don't know how to do it. Like, there needs to be some sort of in-game guide, because like you're
I
gonna
think-
have this idea and
Yeah.
search up how to do it, but you're not gonna be able to know how to do it if you've never had experience before.
Yeah.
I really like that point. Also, I'm gonna branch across that with which is something I think Overwatch does very badly, which is tutorialing and teaching people how to play. Like, you guys remember the Overwatch tutorial, right? It's literally just, this is how you do this thing.
Yeah.
Have fun. This is what you know what I mean? Like, this is how you do this, like, said thing. You can shoot this way. This is how to play soldier. But I think there should, and like when you look up on the Overwatch League YouTube channel, you can find these things that are like role. And talking about your role, right? It tells you what tanking's like, what supporting's like, what DPSing's like, and I think the Overwatch League YouTube channel has a better tutorial of how to play support and tank to the and like a intro and like guide to how to play them more than the Overwatch game actually has. So I think with Overwatch 2,
Yeah, the Overwatch game doesn't really explain how, like, what the game's like and how, like how to.
yeah, like
Oh,
the
I-
Overwatch,
in a game, just
I have
it just
a feeling
explains
where
what the control
Overwatch
does.
really works with Overwatch, so they're kind of letting him do it himself, like, because they already have enough as it is. So I think they're trying to work with him and give him some credit and show everyone like like, kind of what to do and how to do it from him, so they don't have to spend all that
Who's him?
extra
Who's
time
him?
and effort.
I'll wait.
Overwatch, the Overwatch person.
Jeff's just the like
No,
lead director.
no. The Overwatch guides, like they're
Oh, yeah.
letting
Oh yeah,
him
that person.
do all the stuff, so they can spend more stuff on fixing kind of like bugs instead of trying to make a new.
But I
entirely
also
different
do think though there should be,
thing.
you shouldn't have to search up on YouTube like a tutorial for how to play a certain, like not even a hero but a role. Like there's so many like integral, like smaller parts of like playing a role that just you don't get told, like blocking Ryan shatters, right? How would a new player ever learn that that's an important thing to do when playing Ryan?
I guess
Yeah.
it comes with experience. Like games have been
Oh,
out
I'm
for
going
4
my
years,
way.
and back like when it first came out, that was all that you needed.
Dark,
And
you're,
with the
like,
play
you're,
base
like,
that grows and the
you're
when
on
the
mic.
play base grows up and it becomes more like new tactics and experience, new combos, mechanics, like it kind of just learns. So like when it first came out, that was all that needed, because there wasn't any such thing as blocking shatter back then or hitting
Yeah.
like a cool combo dash. So
I'm,
yeah,
I'm,
it's
talking
good
like in.
to me.
I'm also talking like in Overwatch 2. What I'd like to see. I'd like to see.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I'd like to see a lot more in-depth, kind of like, because there's so many things that are just up to the player to figure out, and like let's say like you're playing, you're not watching YouTube, you're not like, you're just trying to like get better at the game, like you're not searching up guides of how to play different
Oh my God.
heroes, right? I think that there's a lot
Yeah.
of things you just won't understand because of like you're not trying to just learn, and like you're not researching like how to play heroes and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, if the player wants to learn this, then yeah, it's gonna be up to them to learn it. They're not gonna
Even
go
just like
through
something about
detailed.
how to play their role. Like
Oh,
not
yeah.
like a in-depth. Each hero has its own tutorial. Just like as a tank, you're the shield for your team. As a support, you're supposed to enable, not just heal. You're supposed to enable your team to go for big plays. Like I think that's a big thing as well. It's called support for
Nah,
a
that's more
reason.
tank's
It's not.
job.
It's. No, I'm talking about enabling, not.
Yeah, it's enabling for DPS to go in. Tank's job, not healers. The healers are meant to
It's not
support
called
the
healing.
tanks.
It's support. It's not. This is. it's not healers. I'm not a healer. I'm a support player. Like it's the very
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the healer or the support supports the tank to make space. If they get low, they just heal them back up, where they allow more people to push in because of it. Like, if the tank's dead and you have no one to help push in with, then you pretty much have lost the fight already. So the healers support the tank to go in, not the healers push through by themselves, making space for them. That makes sense.
yeah. That's kind of the exact playstyle that I don't like, and I think is very DPS, a very DPS thing to kind of say. So, I don't know, Tenshi. What are your opinions on it?
What? On what
On like,
specifically?
on like support and like what support should do. Like tank, I think is very black and white. So is DPS. DPS kind of just kill everything, right?
I want to say this is very opinionated, so don't try and take offense to something anyone says.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it in words.
Okay, what do you think a support's like a role is? Like, do you think they're just supposed to heal or what? Like, what do you think they're supposed to do in
Well,
the game?
they're meant to support their team and like, will obviously keep them alive. So keeping them alive enables them to do different things in the game, obviously.
That's what I'm saying.
And enabling, supporting your DPS, supporting your tanks, so your tanks can push in, your DPS can kill, and like,
Yeah.
you know, supporting your second healer as well.
I think something a
too.
lot of the player base doesn't understand is why exactly it's called support, not heals. Is because like
Yeah.
things like Discord orb, right? Is like the reason why Zen's played so much in like the pro scene is because you can make use of Discord orb and it's such a powerful ability that supports that supports your team's a bit like kill, right?
Yeah, it
Like killing
supports
power.
your, and same with Nano, like,
same as with speed boost and on Nano, right? Like it's not just that you're healing, it's the fact that you're doing something like to enable your team to get, like with Ryan, right? You play speed boost, you just rush, and it enables your Ryan to easily cleave through your enemy team, and he has that support with him.
yeah.
You ready for Nanoblade Tenshi?
Oh. Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
Gun up.
Wow, I got an achievement.
Really? You're welcome.
Hang on, what achievement?
Yeah, thank.
Did you get an honor achievement?
Keep out of my way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I haven't played on that account yet. It's been you that's been playing on that account.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
This is my first time playing Honor on this account.
Oh, rip.
The achievement was the person getting 4 kills with Nano.
Yeah,
on a
I'm pretty
huge
sure it was.
Ha! She missed her, Bob! Bob was supposed to touch point. That's funny.
What the hell?
Okay. I think hero rankings might be for a different time. I think personally, I'd like to
Actually, I'm just gonna
You're just gonna what?
I'm gonna jump out, yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
So
thanks. I'll be back later. See ya.
okay, I might end this. I might end this part here then, and then maybe start recording in a bit.